Show.
And welcome to the show. Great to be with you. Thanks for stopping by today, and happy holidays. They're back. The holidays are back. Yeah, we're next week, Thanksgiving, right? We'll be into Thanksgiving, and it's all good. Gonna do turkey. Is that what you're doing out there? Stuffing. I don't know if we'll get into it too much today, but these holiday foods and hospital usually have, you can say those in the same sentence. They'll get you there. There are favorite holiday foods. Now, some of the favorite holiday foods aren't necessarily, as you would guess, you don't need a nutrition degree to know this, are the unhealthy ones. And we'll talk about that. But there are some holiday foods that are good for you, and we're going to talk about one of them. There's a study that came, there's a story about a study today, brand new, that is worth our attention. Published in a pretty good journal, and we'll get into that. If you have some ideas about healthy holiday foods, let us know. You can call us. Here's how you do that.
Reach out to us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at Let's Talk Nutrition and at Let's Talk Nutrition on Instagram.
You can even stalk us. We don't care. Just get dialed in however you want to do. Do people do that on social media, Gary?
Yes.
That's not good, is it?
No. It's
No,
it's not. What I think it's funny about it, though, is we had a discussion last night about social media versus how we grew up. I was very excited to get my driver's license. Were you?
Absolutely, man. That was like becoming an astronaut.
Okay. So nowadays, kids aren't really excited about getting their driver's license because they have social media and Instagram.
They would rather do that than drive.
Yeah.
My first car was a 57 Chevy. How about that? It was nice, too, man. 57 Chevy. Yellow and white. Yellow and trimmed in white. Pretty cool car. I liked it. And so yesterday, I had Dr. Alan Logan in studio, and Jordan Whitmire was with him, also known as Jordan Whittemire. I was calling the guy by his using the wrong last name for him. It was pretty funny. Kept calling him Whittemire. His name's Whitmire, and I know Jordan pretty well. And we made fun of me yesterday. And I just want to point out to you that Dr. Logan, and of course he's a consultant. He doesn't work directly for Genuine Health. Jordan does. But Alan is a very thoughtful, awfully bright fellow. And he was on yesterday. We had a good show. It was very good. You might want to catch it because we talked about some of how when business gets into the business of science and how that typically doesn't turn out well. And you said that we got some feedback on that show yesterday?
Oh, yeah. It was one of the favorite shows that we've done in a while.
Really?
Because they're so easy to follow. They're down, like I said, they're down-to-earth guys that don't talk 14 feet above everybody else.
Right.
And that's what, the listeners that we have
and viewers
really want is to be able on that simple, talk to me like I'm a normal person, that I don't have 6 PhDs. Right. And we have people that do that.
Oh, well, I try to decode it the best I can. But I just wanted to point out that the guests, people such as Alan Logan, Dr. Logan, there's a lot you don't know about him, but he's a down-to-earth guy. He was a police officer at one point in his life. Manhattan, worked New York police officer, and then went to naturopathic school, Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine. He's an everyman, and you look at him, he looks like anybody else, right? I mean, he doesn't look like some academic, and he talks normal, like but he's awfully smart. And I have a lot of regard for him. And I point that out simply to say to you that we think about, and I evaluate the guests, and I'm trying to figure out how can I get the best out of that any given guest so that you benefit from it, and me, as myself as well in the show. I don't want anybody to sabotage the show, right? When I first started 12 years ago, I didn't know, and sometimes guests would come on, and they were unintentionally, they didn't mean to. They would go on and on and on, and I'd talk in code, and I'm sitting there listening. I say, this is boring. And then I learned, I said, no, man, you gotta seize that away from them and direct them in a different direction and I figured out how to try to get the best out of the guest. Alan, though, you can just cut him loose, and he'll get you to some interesting places. He's a researcher, like I am, by trade, and insightful fellow. That's what we do around here. We're trying to keep it elevated, but Gary pointed out, if you get too far out into the ether, people are gasping for air, and they're going to change the channel and go find some place where they can breathe. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. When it's interesting because we had a big family dinner last night to celebrate a birthday, and everybody there was on the same page of, very down to earth, able to understand, able to follow.
That's what they were saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's nice to get that kind of feedback. And we are coast to coast, and we're terrestrial radio in about 63 or 5 markets, 63, 65 markets, including Hawaii. And then we're global with the stream. And we love every affiliate that we have. Great regard for them. And we appreciate them. And we appreciate you, too. Holiday foods. There are certain foods you shouldn't eat. We had we like to refer to them as, this is so impolite, the intern. We had the intern take a look. What were some of those foods? Give her the mic, man. Put her on the mic. Introduce her, Gary. Introduce her, Gary.
She can talk.
Hello. How you doing, guys?
Tell them who you are.
Hi, my name is Sammy.
Sammy, and you're a student at HCC?
That is correct.
All right. And you're in the program for broadcasting?
Yes.
Okay. So you come in and you're interning here with us.
That's right.
Hopefully we won't do too much damage to your education.
Oh, my God.
Well, you're in the trench, so this isn't a lab. This is it. I asked you to look up some holiday foods that, favorites. What did you find? Some of the favorites.
Well, the favorites I found was pumpkin pie.
Of course.
That's one of them.
All right.
And they have candied yams. Oh, that's a killer. Too damn sweet.
Okay.
And there is pecan pie is another one.
Okay. And what about eggnog?
Oh, no. Stay away from the eggnog, man. That is the ultra fat killer.
Yeah. That is a favorite food. High in fat. Those that she listed, those are just the pies. Candied, how about just baking the sweet potato? How about that?
Hey, that's definitely the better alternative than candy yams.
Yes. And the eggnog, my dad, God rest his soul, loved eggnog. Man, he loved eggnog.
Oh, no.
He really liked, it was buttermilk. He loved buttermilk.
Really?
Yeah. Do they still sell that? Do they?
Yes, they do.
Do they? I wouldn't know because I'm no dairy. We'll be back. I'm going to tell you about a 4-letter word food healthy for the holidays.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
Eggnog, caramel popcorn, Swedish meatballs, green bean casserole, cranberry sauce, fruit cake, cream spinach. Those are foods you should definitely avoid during the holidays. Next week is Thanksgiving, And I know it's supposed to be fun and joy, and I'm just saying. Somebody's got to say it, so be mad at me. I would try to avoid those as much as you can. Yeah. There is one food, though, that you can enjoy. It's healthy. You got to watch, though, because it's loaded with fat. Good fat, but still it's high in calories. And what I'm talking about are nuts. And I don't know about you, but around our house during the holidays, my mom always had, I'll never forget it, a little basket. She would have a nice little cloth inside the basket, and she'd have all the Brazil nuts and walnuts, all these different nuts in the basket all through the holidays. It was wonderful. But there was a study that came over the transom this morning from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, looking at the effect or the impact that eating nuts can have on a person. And there are a number of studies that have looked at this before. Now, diabetes risk drops by 40%, they reported, with only 20 grams of nuts per day. That's amazing. And the risk of infectious diseases, they said in the press release, drops by 75%. Other studies have suggested that eating nuts will protect a person's memory and help with cognitive functioning. The study that I'm referring to now, that was headed up by Ghosh-Fareh, Dr. Marta Ghosh-Fareh. She's a research fellow in the Department of Nutrition at Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health in Boston. That study, they looked at the link between the frequency of eating nuts and the incidence of cardiovascular disease. In the study, Dr. Ghosh-Fareh and her co-researchers looked at more than 210,000 people. What they did was they combined the data from the Nurses' Health Study 1 and 2, and then the data from the Health Professionals Follow-Up Study. So this is what's called a meta-analysis. Overall, they followed the participants for a total of 32 years. And they tracked their medical and lifestyle information that they gave them, and they collected the information every 2 years using self-administered questionnaires. This is a pretty complicated study. They gave them food frequency questionnaires, and that was given every 4 years. And they focused in on the people's nut consumption on that food questionnaire. Now, they looked at cardiovascular disease. In particular, they were interested in myocardial infarction, which is and stroke or fatal cardiovascular disease. Those were the ones that they looked at. That's how they defined or operationalized cardiovascular disease: a heart attack, a stroke, or fatal cardiovascular disease. During that period of time, that 32 years, there were over 14,000 people that had cardiovascular disease, over 8,000 with coronary heart disease, and over close to 6,000 with of which were stroke. Now, this is interesting. 5 or more servings of nuts per week correlated with a 14% decrease in cardiovascular risk and a 20% lower risk of coronary heart disease, all variables being equal. Believe it or not, peanut intake, usually peanuts get a bad rap, but they also correlated with a 15% reduction in coronary heart disease, and tree nuts with a 23% risk reduction. Eating peanuts at least twice a week was linked with a 13% lower risk of cardiovascular disease, peanuts themselves. And tree nuts at 15% lower cardiovascular risk, lower risk. Walnuts, 2 to 3 times every week, they did the best. A 19% decrease in cardiovascular risk and a 21% decrease in coronary heart disease. Walnuts are excellent.
Okay, so my father used to carry Buckeyes in his pocket.
When I went to St. Walburga's grade school, we had Buckeye trees all over the school, all around the property. There had to be at least a dozen of them. We had the Buckeyes. We used to collect them, but go ahead.
Okay, and he would chew on Buckeyes.
Do you have any teeth left?
No, I mean he had dentures to begin with, but like I don't
He ate Buckeyes?
Buckeyes. I thought it was a Kentucky thing, so I'm hoping maybe somebody
Look it up.
in
I know.
Kentucky.
We
or
never
that
ate
area.
them. We used to make necklaces out of them and all kinds of things.
He would chew on Buckeyes. He would. It was the weirdest thing.
Here's what they concluded.
Boy, right.
Quote, the authors said, higher consumption of total and specific types of nuts was inversely correlated with total cardiovascular disease and coronary heart disease, close quote. So eating nuts during the holidays is a good idea. Be mindful. They're high in fat. Fat is 9 calories per gram, twice as many as carbohydrate and twice as many as protein, which have 4 calories per gram. So they're high in fat. You don't eat them by the bucket load every day. Strategically, you eat them. Don't go nuts.
Battling sinus, bronchial disorders, allergies, and other seasonal irritants can be a constant struggle, making this the season when you need Oreganol P73 the most, nature's most powerful natural remedy. Get the blast of wild nature you need with the only wild Mediterranean oregano extract.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Figures Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
Happy holidays. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Talking about holiday foods for a little bit, because next week, of course, as you know, next Thursday is Thanksgiving. And then we got Hanukkah and Christmas and New Year's, and yes. And I gave a quick list of foods to avoid. And then this one study I'm reporting on this morning, published in the title of the study was Nut Consumption and the Risk of Cardiovascular Disease, published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. And they recommend consumption of nuts, yeah. But you have to watch. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Question is, how much, right? Maybe I can get the crew to help me with that. Then there's the question, are eating nuts can reduce risk factors for many of the chronic diseases. We know that. Now, not all nuts are created equal, and you have to ask, well, what would be the good ones to eat for better health? I came across one article that cautioned about eating too many nuts, and the point was well taken. Any number of health benefits associated with nuts, the different studies that have come out over the years, there's more than a few. They are high in fat, and nuts are high. 1 ounce, 28 grams of mixed nuts contains 173 calories, 5 grams of protein, 16 grams of fat, 9 of which are monounsaturated, 6 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fiber. Then you have some micronutrients, vitamin E, and so on.
And that's the recommended amount, is just about an ounce, about a handful. You don't want to eat over that. It says, according to Global News, because of the high calorie content.
Right, and it's the fat that jacks the calories up, because there's 9 calories per gram.
Does fat calories burn quicker than...
No.
Okay.
Calories a calorie. A calorie is, I'll give you the scientific, technical definition of a calorie in a minute. In terms of ORAC values, they tend to run pretty good ORAC, oxygen radical, capacity. That the ORAC values can be pretty good to fight off the free radicals. So walnuts.
Free radicals is what causes cancer?
Free radicals is what causes cell damage, cellular damage.
Oh.
Free radicals can promote disease. And that's why you want to take antioxidants to fight the free radicals.
Okay.
These radical oxygen species, as they're called, free radical oxygen species. But walnuts turn out to be one of the best nuts to eat for ORAC value. Polyphenols are found in nuts. The polyphenols that combat the oxidative stress by neutralizing the free radicals that harm your cells. One study I looked at found that 2 to 8 hours after consuming whole pecans, people in the study experienced a 26 to 33% drop in oxidized LDL cholesterol. Pecans, no less. And there's one study after another. In another study, people with metabolic syndrome, they found that walnuts had a good impact on antioxidant capacity. Cashews, they're yum, but not so much. Yeah, I'm sorry. I like cashews too.
Mm-hmm.
In the PREDIMED, PREDIMED study, that's an acronym, I don't remember the full name of the study, wanted to measure the effects of the Mediterranean diet, and they found that The people in the study who ate nuts lost an average of 2 inches, 5 centimeters from their waist, more than those who were assigned to eat olive oil. Ooh. By the way, putting olive oil on your salad doesn't make it more healthy. Ooh, I just sounded like a heretic. In another study, women, it was overweight women, those who consumed almonds lost nearly 3 times as much weight and experienced a significantly greater decrease in waist size compared to the control group who did not receive the treatment, which was eating almonds. I could go on and on. You sort of get the picture here, right? Now, what would be the list here? Almonds, very good. Almonds are a tree nut, and they make my list. Walnuts, definitely. Pistachios, they're yum too. They're high in fiber, it turns out. So, but you have to be careful. Don't overdo it with pistachios either. But they're high in fiber. Walnuts, excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids, alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. This is fat from plants. People think that fat only comes from animals. No. Fat is found in plants. Alpha-linolenic acid and alpha-linoleic acid is omega-6. Walnuts is on my list. Cashews, they're a tree nut as well. They seem to have some popularity. There is a study, several studies, that show that a diet, including cashews, will improve symptoms of metabolic syndrome. For example, they found in a study that a diet with 20% of calories from cashews improved blood pressure. I'm just reporting now. This is not my
Shoot the
opinion.
messenger.
Pecans. Shonies were big on pecans. Remember those Shonies?
Oh,
All kinds of nutritional sin in Shonies. Pecans are used in desserts, but they're quite nutritious. And they make the list of being good ones. Macadamia nuts, very good. Good source of monosaturated fat. They make the list. Brazil nuts, high in fat. Rich source of selenium, in case you want to know. I like Brazil nuts. Hazelnuts, love hazelnuts. Boy, it's bringing up all kinds of memories from a boy. And then, believe it or not, peanuts makes the list. By the way, peanuts are legumes. Thought you'd like to know. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition, talking about holiday foods and focused on nuts. In my opinion, I think almonds, you got the door, almonds and walnuts, pretty safe choices. They're excellent. Just don't start roasting them, putting salt on them, oil, and then you ruin them in terms of their nutritional value. Of course, you take the fun out of it. It tastes good when you do them, but almonds and walnuts are a safe bet. Then I listed the other ones too, and put those around the house during the holidays. Won't hurt. And Gary asked me about a calorie. A calorie is it's a metric, and it's the energy needed to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water 1 degree centigrade. That's what a calorie is. It's the amount of energy you need to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water 1 degree centigrade. Or the energy needed to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water 1 degree centigrade. That's what a calorie is. It's heat. Understand?
Okay.
It's heat. That's why when you exercise, you're doing what? Burning calories, and you heat up. Hence, you perspire, cool the body down so it doesn't, like a race car or
Right.
your automobile, overheat and ruins the engine.
Yeah, see, for the longest time, I thought was an actual thing. I know you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
It is a thing. It's a
I
concept.
mean, like you could. It's a concept, but I mean, like you could actually see a calorie. You know what I'm saying? For the longest
we can
time,
we can see a calorie in terms of, we can put it in a calorie meter, and we can watch. They can put foods in it and watch how much they burn it and see how many calories in the food. So, in a sense, you see it in terms of its measurement. It's a metric. Let's go to Tampa, Florida. Carolyn, how are you?
Oh, good morning, Dr. Garko.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. I'm so happy you're talking about nuts today.
Why is that?
Because I've been a big fan of nuts all my life, and I've always liked to eat them raw because I thought they were healthier. And recently read an article that stated nuts have a lot of phytic acid, as
They do.
beans, and that you should not eat them raw because of that you should soak them or cook them. And so I'm really confused about that. So what do you know about phytic acid?
Okay. This is a good question. Raw foodists will tell you that you shouldn't do anything with food other than wash it. Right?
Right.
They believe that eat everything raw. That can get you into a lot of trouble, and you got to be careful. This business of what do you do? The phytic acid in raw nuts? Raw nuts that haven't been soaked or dried can cause harm. That's generally, if you go to the USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture, on their website, they talk about it, I believe, if my memory serves me. I remember reading it. Plants, such as nuts, contain enzymes or other substances that protect the plant from germinating too soon or from being consumed by the insects. Phytic acid in raw nuts protects the plant, but phytic acid in humans can block the absorption of nutrients such as calcium, iron, magnesium, and zinc. So you got to be careful. So you're trying to do a good thing, and you could do too much of it, and you end up with a bad result. Soaking the nuts or drying them removes the phytic acid. Getting too much phytic acid then leads to what? Given what I said, it blocks certain nutrients, to nutritional deficiencies. Does that answer your question?
Yes, that helps a lot.
So now,
I
but
love eating them raw.
did I persuade you not to eat raw nuts that
Well, I will eat less of them.
Why don't you soak them overnight? Soak them.
Yes, I can do that. How about cooking them or roasting them? Does that get rid of the
You got to
phytic acid?
Well, yes, but you have to. You can. You want to get them dried, but not to the point where you destroy the antioxidants, the polyphenols. So
Okay,
you need.
so baking with them then would probably be a good thing.
Well, people use nuts in baking, and you still get the nutritional benefits. You just don't want to overdo it. You know, at the ballpark, they take the nuts, and you see the peanuts, and they're shiny, and they got salt on them. They got put oil on them, and they got them in the heat. They roast them. It tastes wonderful, but, you know, that's not the way to go. Raw nuts also, I don't mean to ruin your holidays, but raw nuts also have bacteria in them. Raw almonds have been implicated in salmonella outbreaks, and they're no longer sold in California, in case you didn't know.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Roasting, blanching, lightly steaming, and heating destroy salmonella bacteria. So it's a good idea to do those things. Roasting, blanching, lightly steaming, and heating. Peanuts harbor aflatoxins. What are aflatoxins? Those are harmful fungi that, similar to salmonella, can make you really sick, man. You get awfully ill. Roasting kills about 50% of the aflatoxins present in nuts. People who have allergies to nuts, that's like feeding them poison. You can kill them. They can die from it. Go into anaphylactic shock and whatnot. Oh, yeah. Don't want to do that. I told you more than you wanted to know, and none of it was good for you because you like to eat raw nuts.
Well, I think it's good because it means I can still eat nuts. I just have to be more careful.
But I'm not done. Acrylamide. Roasting nuts also has its risks, though. Acrylamides are the chemicals that form in foods during the roasting process, and those have carcinogenic effects. So, do you roast them? Do you eat them raw? You see the dilemmas here?
Well, I'm in my 80s and I'm still healthy after eating all kinds of.
You're one of the
all my
most
life.
healthiest 80-year-old human beings on the planet. People, I know who Carolyn is. I've known her and her daughter for 30 or more years. The woman she should be, what's that museum, Ripley's, where, believe it or not?
I should be in a museum.
Absolutely. I mean, still alive, mind you. You're in phenomenal shape, 80 years old. You don't take any meds either, do you?
No, nothing at all. a lot of supplements. I keep the supplement industry in business.
It's all right. Happy holidays to you and your family. Come back, we'll get at it again, and we'll see what's on the menu.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show and happy holidays wherever and however you may be listening or watching Let's Talk Nutrition and whatever you may be doing. The first portion of the show, I talked about nuts. Really got into it more than I even thought I would. Carolyn called from Tampa, Florida. I know Carolyn. I've known her for many years. She's 80. I tell you, that's her chronological age. Biologically, she's got to be 50. Unbelievable. Fit, no medications. She'll walk into the ground. And she asked me about eating raw nuts. And I laid it all out. Gary was looking at me, said, "What did you think? I didn't, that what? I don't know what I'm doing here?" The other day when that guy called about the prostate and I did a whole off cold, right? No notes.
And it's funny because we had a huge feedback on that show because we had a lot of questions come back on that. And we were in the break, had a question come in about kale. And
yes and no.
Yeah. Well, everybody's like, "Oh, it's this superfood."
Well, yeah, I know. But there's some cautionary notes. Maybe our guest can help on that too. Gina. You know Gina Moss.
We do.
Yeah, with Renew Life. Kale. Well, it's good. Yes, I like kale. But again, you know, people take things to extremes. You know, say, I found something good. So if I eat some of it, that's great. If I eat a lot of it, it's going to be better. Sometimes that works, that principle works, and sometimes it doesn't. And kale is very good, kale nutrition. And I eat kale, put it in my salad, you know, and yeah, I like it. It tastes good, looks good. But we'll see. There's some issues with it. It's been linked to thyroid. I'll give you a hint. Over consuming it. And most recently, a thing called thallium poisoning. So we'll see what Gina has to say. We love it when you connect to the show. We're working real hard to do this for you. Where we are today and where we were 12 years ago in terms of connecting, we're galaxies away. And Gary is in large measure responsible for helping me to make Let's Talk Nutrition, Health Talk Radio for the 21st century in terms of the technology. But it's Health Talk Radio for the 21st century for a lot of other reasons as well. But the technology is such that we can get you connected in different ways, and Gary's going to tell you.
You can follow us on Facebook at Let's Talk Nutrition, one word. A lot of people were confused about that. You put in Let's Talk Nutrition as one word on Facebook in your search, and we come up. Like our page. When you like our page, you get all the updates. You do the videos when they come out. We stream our videos live to Facebook. We also stream live to YouTube. And one of the things else that's growing is, you know, we have the iHeart app. You can listen to Let's Talk Nutrition on the iHeart app, and we're in the top 10 in that, Doc. Did you know that?
So Stephen knows a lot about the iHeart app. I don't know if he's busy. Are you busy? Can you talk? Do you feel well enough to talk or no? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I'm getting there.
All right. Share with a little bit with the listener and the viewer about that app.
Yeah, iHeartRadio app. It's available on all your devices, whether you're Android, Google, iPhone, Apple, all that kind of stuff. Free app, and basically you download it, and you can pick up your local radio stations in your area through your listening, through your devices, you know, pads or just your phone.
Any handheld device?
Pretty much, and your computer too as well. And you can listen to your local stations that way, or you pick up stations all across the country, as well as specific genres like health talk, and that's where you would find the Let's Talk Nutrition page for that. And you can build your own play stations as far as, like, say you like jazz.
Yes.
You type in one of your favorite jazz artists, and it'll build a radio station based around that artist and other genres that would kind of pull together and make a radio station for you.
Is it true I know this is iHeartMedia. Many of our affiliates are not affiliated with iHeartMedia. Okay,
Right.
many of the rate. Is it true that the iHeart app will dial you into some of these other stations?
Yeah, I'm not sure how that actually works as far as the deals that have been made behind the scenes and everything. But yes, there are other media companies that have their stations and content on there also. So it's not strictly iHeartMedia.
Is that right?
content. Yep.
And they're comfortable with that.
I guess so.
I know some radio stations, some of the affiliates get a little,
Yeah, if you mention another company, they cringe, and some are more free with it, and they don't really, it doesn't bother them as much.
I try to respect that, Steve, and I don't want to upset anybody.
Sure.
We broadcast out of iHeartMedia here in Tampa, Florida on AM 1250 WHNZ. This is where we began the show, and this is where it is. This is our home base. So that's a nice app, man.
Yeah.
So Gary, that's how they can get it then get our show through the iHeart app.
Yeah. And one of the things that has is you can go through the archive shows in our history and listen to the older shows.
Okay.
So if you've got something that's on there from 2-3 months ago to 2-3 years ago, it's on there.
Okay. Gina Moss is my guest. I'm going to bring her on right away. She's an educator for Renew Life. Gina, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Happy, healthy, and whatever kind of holidays you like.
Well, thank you, Dr. Garko. It's a pleasure to be invited back, and I appreciate that.
What's your favorite holiday food? Don't lie.
Well, my favorite holiday food is anything with pumpkin. Love, love, love pumpkin.
Pumpkin pie. Yeah. Pumpkin
cut up
soup.
into
Did you say pumpkin?
chunks.
Did you say pumpkin soup?
Yeah.
I've never had that.
Yeah, it's kind of like making butternut squash soup. It's the same thing, and it's just pumpkin instead. Of course, and then of course you got to have the seeds. We buy pumpkins just for the seeds sometimes, and we roast them. I love those.
Okay.
Yeah.
What holiday food do you like the least?
Oh, I'm not a huge fan of the.
I don't like fruitcake.
mushy.
I don't like fruitcake.
Oh.
You know
Yeah.
that thing that will end up laying around the house for several months after. Then, if you threw it against the wall, you'd break the plaster.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say probably my least favorite. I'm not a big sweets person, so
Really?
I can live without those.
I'm not a big fan of that corn casserole. What?
Oh, yeah.
Casseroles, man. I don't know. I'm spinach casserole, bean casserole, these creamy whatever kind. I walk away from those. I'm sorry. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not doing. No, man. You need to be not doing any of those this holiday.
I know, because that's like one of the things like all the Southern people love is them creamy casseroles.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the corn casserole,
do,
I cannot
especially
do
the-
corn casserole. I can do stuffing, and
depends on how the stuffing is made.
my mom used to make it with vegetables and fruit in it,
That's good. Your mom
Interesting.
was good.
and with walnuts and yeah, it was good stuff. I would, but
Holiday food, nuts. What's your favorite nuts to eat?
Me?
Yeah,
Oh, I love pecans.
pecans are
And
good.
I love cashews
What?
and walnuts.
Yeah, cashews are fun to eat, but walnuts and almonds seem to be the two leading healthy nut foods to eat. I listed about 7 or 8 of them a little while ago. Cashew, I don't know. Cashews taste great, but when we come back, I want to get your take on kale as well, okay?
Yes. Are we going for a break?
Yeah, why? What do you want to do?
Oh,
I'm
wanted to
not.
mention that-
Gina, you need to loosen up, man. I'm just messing with you. We'll be back.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Gina Moss is my guest today, educator for Renew Life. Just talking a little bit about holiday foods for a moment, and then the issue of kale came up. We had a question on our Facebook page about kale. Gina, what's your take on kale?
I love kale. However, just like we always have talked about, Dr. Garko, balance is key. You don't want to be taking too much of it. As you know, of course, kale is very rich in vitamin K, which helps to coagulate your blood. So anybody that is on an anticoagulant, also known as blood thinner, needs to be very careful and work in conjunction with their doctor to make sure that they're getting the right amount that it won't interfere with the anticoagulant. However, kale is just very rich in vitamin A, of course, which is great for your eyes, vitamin C, B vitamins, which we all need for our nerves, folate, iron, very high fiber, too. I do like to put kale into my NutriBullet smoothie in the morning. I don't do a smoothie every day, but probably 4 or 5 days a week.
Okay.
And the thing I really like about kale is it's really low calorie, and it hardly has any carbohydrates, like 4% per serving, which is about a half a cup or a cup.
Okay.
I really think it's versatile.
Yeah, and kale is related. It's a member of the cabbage family, Brassica oleracea.
Correct.
There are different types of kale. Kale can be green or it can be purple. Can be smooth. It can be curly in shape. A single cup of kale, which is about 2.4 ounces, has vitamin A, vitamin K, C, B6, manganese, calcium, copper, potassium, magnesium. Yeah, it's really a
superfood.
And I guess so. I know people like to use that expression or term, superfood. I get that. When you start, what I found, Gina, when you start categorizing foods that way, it sends a kind of a, I don't want to say a wrong message, but people will then forget about the so-called foods that are not so super, but really they're really important to get into the diet. Super can mean a lot of different things.
Yes.
So I try to watch with that. I know it's popular in the marketing and whatnot. I've used it myself, that phrase and term, superfood, but I'm careful about it. But thank you for sharing your take on kale and your favorite holiday.
Nutrient dense would be a good other word to choose about foods that are just, really high in nutrients, vitamins. So we could call it nutrient dense.
Yeah, kale is also, by the way, a powerful antioxidant. It has quercetin in it, camphorol, and like other leafy green vegetables, high in antioxidants. So go with the plants. What did you want to come to talk about? 12 days of Christmas, Santa's elves. What do you focus on today?
I just wanted to. Are you asking me, by the way? I think that during the holidays, the most important thing to focus on is portions, and
portion control.
That's a really important thing because there's no reason in my mind and the way I was trained to leave things out. Now, for example, it's okay to have a bite of certain sweets, and it's okay to do foods. There's so many wonderful foods that are traditional, that your family has made for years, that you wait all year to eat. Just have some and just try again to maintain a little bit of balance and really enjoy those foods, because in my
how are you going to control portions? How are you going to do? Listen, if I could probably tempt you with all kinds of pumpkin dishes, given your weakness for pumpkin. How do you control portions, really? How do you go about doing that? What do you recommend?
Well, it's kind of, you just put one small spoonful of everything on your plate. What you see as you go through a buffet or as it's passed around, you tend to just put 2 or 3 spoonfuls of those things that you like. Just try to, cut back a little bit, just even half. And most people, they understand exactly what that means. But I will say that deprivation brings rebellion. So if you're constantly through the holidays depriving yourself of the things you love because you think it's bad or this or that, whatever strange words people use to associate with good and bad foods, because a lot of people are black and white thinkers.
I understand.
Have a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. By the way, the size of the plate, the size of the flatware makes a difference. People are saying, what are you talking about? I'll publish an article I do every year on things you can do during the holidays to help with portion control. You don't want a plate that looks like the hubcap on a 55 Buick. That's too big.
I use a teacup plate. I'm learning. I'm using like a teacup plate.
Okay, there you go. Smaller plate, and even if you try to pile it on, it'll fall on the person's carpet that you're visiting for the holidays, and they won't like that, so you might be uninclined then to pile it on. So smaller plates, smaller flatware does help. I'm serious. There are studies to support that.
It absolutely does.
By the way, at Renew Life, you sell something that can help with portion control. Starts with the letter F. And it's not Frank. It's not Frankfurters either.
Yes, fiber.
Fiber. When we come back, if you could lay that out and other things that you had prepared for our holiday conversation. LTN coast to coast and globally.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Catch the Let's Talk Nutrition podcast anytime. Search for us on the iHeartRadio app or your Amazon Echo device.
When you're hiring, you want qualified candidates fast, and it can be hard to know where to find them. More than 3 million businesses use Indeed.com, the world's #1 job site. Whether you need entry-level or highly skilled employees, Indeed helps you find great talent and make the right hire. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/promo. That's Indeed.com/promo. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-356-7308. That's 1-800-356-7308. Again, 1-800-356-7308.
When it comes to weight loss, many people experience a roller coaster ride. The up and down of temporary weight loss, followed by inevitable weight gain. Well, it's not your fault. It's your weight loss plan. Short-term results are a byproduct of a short-term plan. Dr. Urshan Health and Weight Loss Center is different. Dr. Urshan's program promotes permanency. His 40-day plan sets you on a path of reaching your weight loss goal and keeping it off. No shots, no drugs, no prepackaged foods. You eat real food from your favorite grocer. I've seen it firsthand. Friends of mine that have lost 20, 30, and 40-plus pounds. They did it by going to see Dr. Urshan. There are plans out there that offer a short-term approach by tricking your body into weight loss. This is not Dr. Urshan's approach. Dr. Urshan is different. If you're tired of the roller coaster ride of weight loss, go with a permanency plan of Dr. Urshan. Go to GetThinTampa.com and set up your appointment. It's easy. GetThinTampa.com.
Life doesn't stop for car trouble, work, school, dentist appointments, the workout you wouldn't mind skipping. Our cars connect us to our lives, so wouldn't it be reassuring to know that our cars are up to the job? Enter Hum by Verizon, the technology that connects you to your car. Now you can check your car's health from your phone with vehicle diagnostics. Get advice on the go with a certified mechanics hotline. And if Hum detects a collision, it can send help automatically with 24/7 emergency assistance. Get Hum and get where you're going. Learn more at hum.com.
On Airplane 275 on the east side of the Howard Franklin Bridge, we have some slow traffic, have a crash on the left shoulder of the exit ramp. There's an accident in a turn lane on US 19 at State Road 52, and we still have the intersection of 16th Street and 5th Avenue South closed because of a crash. For more real-time traffic updates on your route, download the new Total Traffic app powered by Traffic Karma. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line at 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. At Buffalo Wild Wings, get select $2 drafts, $4 mixed drinks, and $4 apps. So head into B-Dubs for happy hour and late night happy hour every Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. to close. Wings Beer Sports. Please drink responsibly.
1250 winds, Weather Center forecast. Nice day, sunshine, a little bit of a breeze. High temperature getting into the upper 70s. Overnight low falling into the upper 50s, near 60 degrees. We'll see those upper 70s stay with us tomorrow. More sunshine, just we'll lose the breeze. Then 80 for the next few days. We'll drop temps a bit on Sunday with the front moving in late Saturday. Dow's down 139 to 23,270.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Herb and Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition during this holiday season, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Wardrobe change. Since we're talking about the holidays, got a red shirt on, took my Ferrari jacket off, and we're in business. We're festive. Gina Moss. We were talking about kale. Gina Moss is I'm making mistakes the last couple of days. Gina Moss is my guest. And just one more cautionary note about kale, Gina. What are some of the comments about too much kale and the thyroid, if you know?
I do. It can disrupt the thyroid activity and slow it down because of the phytic acid that's in dark green leafies. And so, once again, this balance is very, very important. So you're correct. There is some disruption of the because phytic acid and phytonutrients, they can bind with some of the hormone activity of the thyroid. So that's important not to go to. There was something I was reading earlier about kale juice, specifically the juice versus the whole.
And what about the juice? What about the juice?
The juice was so concentrated that it could actually cause this called hyperkalemia, which is too much potassium. And if you do it on a consistent basis where you're consuming juice of kale every day, it can present too much potassium in the blood, and it can cause fatigue and muscle weakness, chest pain, and of course.
I wonder how much kale we're talking about here, though. I wonder.
It said every day if you were to juice. Now, you know that it takes quite a bit of kale to extract the juice. I believe it's not a pound, but I believe it was like 3 or 4 cups of kale.
Yeah.
To get like a half a cup.
Moderation. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm not a big juicing person myself because I like the fiber from all the foods. That to me is extremely important.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of juicing and blending, both.
Oh, I like blending, but
Yeah.
not so much juicing. I'm
Yep.
too lazy also to clean the apparatus.
Oh, I know. My Vitamix.
Very lazy.
My Vitamix. I have a restaurant, professional Vitamix, and it functions like the motor on a. It's like a Briggs and Stratton engine on a lawnmower. It's unbelievable. What did you have in mind? I mentioned fiber to moderate appetite and to help with food portion control.
Correct.
Do you agree with that or no?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I appreciate you mentioning that. It kind of slipped my mind when you said, "Oh, it starts with an F," and it is fiber that can help. So, like in the middle of the afternoon or the middle of the morning, have a really high fiber snack, or you can incorporate it with your meals. But if you don't want to eat the calories, then you can use the Renew Life fiber products, of course, which are mostly acacia fiber, oat bran, and flax, ground defatted organic flax.
Mm-hmm.
They can be very helpful. They are in capsule or in powder. But I wanted to mention really quickly about enzymes. Digestive enzymes can help, believe it or not, with satiety or satisfying you, because when your food is broken down by the enzymes into the smallest molecule, you have better nutrient uptake. And when you have better nutrient uptake, your body is not going to experience deficiencies, and you're going to have more of a whole health in that you are absorbing the nutrients in their smallest form. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. What do you have at Renew Life, enzymatically speaking?
We have very high potency formulas. They're called Digest Smart. We have Digest More Ultra and Digest More. Digest More has a little bit of L-glutamine, which helps to support the mucus lining. And so we also have the acacia fiber. Acacia fiber binds, as does all fiber, but it binds with bile salts and toxins in the body. So along with holiday eating goes, for many people, holiday drinking, and but the acacia fiber can help with absorbing that. So that is also very healthy aspect. But the enzymes also help with gas and bloating and indigestion that we many times can experience from just overeating and lots of parties at holiday time. So, take an enzyme when you eat. Take the Digest Smart or the Digest More. You can carry them in your purse. We even have a chewable enzyme that you can carry. They help a lot. So I encourage people to look for those.
How often should people take enzymes throughout the course of the day? And when?
Just when they eat a meal. So let's just pretend most people eat 3 meals a day, and they're normal size. They would take an enzyme with each one. I personally eat very small amount of breakfast, so I don't take one at that time. I usually take one for lunch and dinner. Because I do eat meat, so at dinner time I tend to eat more meat, and meat is hard to break down.
Do you eat meat with your meat?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
You're a dietitian.
There's nothing wrong with eating meat.
With your meat? Do you eat meat with your meat, is what I said.
Oh, yes. I do eat meat with my meat sometimes. I rather eat meat than carbohydrate, because carbohydrate for me, in certain forms, doesn't work well in my body. So.
Well, then you're in a lot of trouble. There's only 3 macronutrients, Miss Moss. What are you doing? What are you saying? You're killing me over here. What? Wait a minute, Gary. We have to call it. What do they do in the NFL? When they go under the hood, the referee's going to look at the.
We need to call a timeout.
We have to review this play. Excuse me, Miss Moss. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What are you saying? You don't eat carbohydrate?
No, I do eat carbohydrates. I'm very selective about those that I choose.
Yeah, which one? Which carbohydrate food? Which one do you eat?
I eat fruits and I eat legumes, which have a lot of fiber and good carbohydrate. I don't eat a lot of grains. I don't eat a lot of breads. That's what I don't. I do eat quinoa.
Do you eat sweet potatoes?
I do.
Do you eat broccoli? Do you eat cauliflower? Do you eat cabbage? Do you eat carrots?
Oh, I eat tons of vegetables.
All right, so you have to. All right, we come back. Oh, Miss Moss, you're killing me.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Figures Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
Here's the LTN health question of the day. Earlier in the show, in the first portion, I was talking about holiday foods, and one holiday food that's really good to eat and healthy are nuts. And went through the list, the ones that really rank high in health, contribution to health. Almonds, walnuts, Brazil nuts, hazelnuts, and so on. Pecans, whatnot. And then I mentioned that one cautionary note about eating nuts is that you have to watch because in terms of calories, compared to, they're high in fat. That's the point. Nuts are high in fat. Here's the health question. How many calories per gram are there in fat? How many calories per gram with fat compared to protein, compared to carbohydrate? Is it 4 grams? 4 grams or 9 grams? When it comes to fat, how many calories are there? 4 or 9? Here's the number to call.
877-897-8255. 877-897-8255.
Let me make that question a little clearer. How many calories per gram are there when it comes to fat? 4 calories per gram or 9 calories per gram? Miss Moss, welcome back. Now, yesterday I was talking to somebody. This is what the person said to me. Person's on a diet. I'm not making this up. And I said, oh, how did you lose the weight? Well, I'm on the Atkins diet. I've cut out all my carbs. And I didn't say anything. Let him go. And then the individual said to me, my body doesn't do well with glucose. Now, what I said to him, I can't repeat on the air because it's expletive loaded. And I said, translation was, you're in a lot of trouble. I said, what do you mean your body doesn't do well with glucose? What are you talking about? When you said that you don't eat carbohydrate, you meant processed carbs, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
All right. I mean, you got to clarify. Please help me with that because I'm trying to educate myself and the audience about it's not carbohydrate. It's those processed carbohydrate, right?
Absolutely. I'm sorry I did not clarify that.
Oh, it's all right. I just wanted to make sure so that the audience doesn't get misled and I get confused.
Exactly. For example, an apple, a nice apple is a fruit, but it has a lot of carbohydrate, which will eventually break down into glucose. Your body needs that glucose because that is energy for the cells of your body.
Absolutely.
If you had a choice between and I'll just use this generically, a granola bar and an apple, for me, I would choose the apple.
Every time.
Yeah. So, yes, thank you for clarifying that.
But I was and this person knows a little bit about nutrition and whatnot. My body doesn't do well with glucose. Man, when I heard him say it, and so many people think like that. I mean, what do you mean your body? You're in a lot. If your body doesn't do well with glucose, you might as well just go ahead and I don't know what. They get so misled. But what else did you have? All right, so eating fiber, you have any number of fiber products, your triple fiber, all these different fiber products that'll help create a feeling of satiety and help control blood glucose levels during the holidays, right?
That is correct. And nuts, you were talking about nuts, and I found that very interesting. Nuts are very high in fiber as well. And the fat that's in nuts, even though they are caloric, is really healthy plant fats.
Exactly.
I always encourage people to consume them if they can.
Yeah, I reviewed, did a real quick just a sketchy review of the literature for the audience today, talking about different nuts and how they contribute to health. Let's go to Dover, not England, but Florida. Lori lives there. Lori, welcome to the show. Happy holidays. I hope you got all your holiday shopping done.
Oh, not really.
Not really.
Thank you so much, and happy holidays to you, Dr. Gacko, and your whole crew.
Oh, yeah, we got a good crew.
Gary.
Yeah, I got all Santa's elves here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have an intern. Sammy's here. Steve's here. Gary's here, and the ghost from Christmas Past is in the studio. How many calories per gram in fat? 4 or 9?
9.
Yeah, it's twice as many, better than twice as many. Protein has 4 calories per gram. Carbohydrate has 4 calories per gram. So nuts are high in fat, so you got to be careful. You get double the calories. So you don't eat the whole bag. You know what I'm saying? You just...
Exactly.
Yeah.
They are addictive sometimes.
Oh, I love them. I love them. And we thank you for listening to the show. I don't know if you ever watch it, but it does stream.
Occasionally I do, yes.
Yeah. So thank you for doing that as well. And I want to, from everybody associated with LTN, want to extend the happiest and healthiest of holidays to you and your family, Lori.
Thank you so much, and I wish the same to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Families.
Thank you. Thank you a lot. All right. So you believe, Miss Moss, enzymes good for holiday health in controlling the calories and appetite, yes?
Yes.
Give your last pitch on that. Say it again. Tell the audience why, real quick.
Enzymes break your food down into the smallest nutrient, and that provides for better uptake. And when your body is nourished properly, you will have less cravings. You will feel more well and whole, and you won't really actually eat as much.
Name of the products. Name of the products from A New Life.
Digest Smart, Digest More, and we have chewable Digest More Ultra products. So a variety of enzymes with a variety of enzymes too.
All right. Thank you. We got to go. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, thank you, and happy holidays.
Oh, thank you so much. And please give my best to everybody at Renew Life. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. Work your way through the day. Think about eating. Be conscious of what you're doing in your lifestyle and your diet. I know the temptations are great, especially during this time of year. But just keep in mind, in the back of your mind, that your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you.
Are you suffering from those awful allergies? Hay fever, sneezing, watery eyes? Here's some advice you won't want to miss.
I'm a doctor, and my patients used to dread allergy season. But then I discovered A-Bogle Allergy Relief, a unique combination of natural ingredients that usually addresses every one of my patients' symptoms. And while it's clear that the vast majority of my patients benefit significantly from A-Bogle Allergy Relief, what's even more amazing is that after using it, at least half of my patients' symptoms didn't return.